I slowly started putting weight on again, weight on again, weight on again. By the time I was almost 50 years old, you know, back February 1st, 2009, that was 17 years ago, I was almost 50. I was up to 320 pounds.
Far out.
I never got back to my full 367
Mm,
because I stopped eating those meals in the middle of the night, but I was still 320.
mm,
I won't say I was at rock bottom. I was not. I had not had a heart attack yet. I had not had a stroke yet, but all those things were coming. So, like many people do when they're approaching a milestone age, men and women, I said, where am I going to be in 5 years if I keep doing what I'm doing? Would you care to guess what the answer was? Go ahead.
you would just, yeah, heart attack,
Dead.
stroke. Yeah.
Dead.
Mm,
And guess what? I didn't want to be dead. So I turned to my wife and I said, I'm done. I'm cooked. I mean, done. I said, I'm wasting my life and I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to make some changes in my life right now,
love
not
that.
tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next year, right now. Now, notice something here. I told you that was February 1st, 2009. Do you know why it was not January 1st? New Year's resolutions, why it wasn't January? Because I had made a New Year's resolution January 1st that I was going to do something. It was a vague resolution
Mm,
and I failed. I didn't do it. I didn't keep my resolution. So there's a lesson to be learned from there. We are human beings. We're going to mess up. No doubt about it. You're going to mess up. And I'm going to talk more about that as we go on. You're going to mess up. The question is, what do you do when you mess up? Do you quit or do you hop back on the horse and get going again? As they say, fall down 7 times, get up 8. So this time was different. That was not I've told you that was not the first time I lost weight, but what made this time different was my level of determination. I said, I'm going to start right now. These are the changes I'm going to make right now. And I'm going to do them for the rest of my life. Because I was that disgusted with where I was, but I was not at rock bottom.
okay. Far out.
However, no, I wasn't at rock bottom.
Mm,
I hadn't had a heart attack yet, hadn't had a stroke yet. So there's some lessons to be learned here. It took me 49 and a half years to get to the point where I changed my life in an instant. Now, one of the things I do is I now help people learn how to change their life in an instant without waiting 49 and a half years to do it. Now go
I,
ahead. What are you going to say?
I absolutely love that. And I'm excited to dive into how to actually get people to change, because you're right. So many people just get caught up in their life and try and change so many times, or they will have some sort of heart attack, stroke, but
We
they still don't
we
change.
all do.
Yeah.
We all get caught up because we're human beings.
Yeah. I was actually having this conversation yesterday with somebody about working the 9 to 5, and a lot of my clients, because I'm a personal trainer, as soon as work gets busy, it's like they just forget about themselves, and it's like, oh, I've got to focus on this work and get this work done. I'm like, well, hold on. You're more important. Your life, your body is more important than any work that you're doing. So what?
What do they tell you when you get on an airplane?
Yeah,
You're in Australia, but I'm assuming they tell you the same thing.
100%.
If you're traveling with small infants, put your oxygen mask on first. If you don't take care of yourself first, you're not going to be able to do your work. You're not going to be able to handle things.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to take care of your family. You're not going to be able to take care of your responsibilities. You're going to fall apart.
It's crazy how people just forget that, though. As soon as work or life gets busy, it's just they forget that.
I
So,
think they never learn it. I don't think it's they forgot. I think they never learn it.
okay.
That's why we're going to talk about it.
Well, before we move on, I appreciate you telling the story about your mum passing away and your auntie as well. It's just canny. Like, I was literally having a chat to a friend yesterday, and she's going through the same thing with her cousin, who's just
Yeah.
lost his mum, and he's early teens, so she's battling through that. So, yeah, it wouldn't be easy at all. So I can imagine how it did affect you, like hearing what she was
Make
saying.
sure he cries.
Hmm.
See, I didn't cry and no one noticed it and no one made me cry. See, that was back in 1967. People didn't send kids to therapists back in 1967. You know, nowadays they would.
Yep.
But, you know, but make sure the kid gets it out because, that stuff sticks with you in one form or another. It really does. And so here I am. I've decided to change my life in an instant. I said two things. I said, I'm going to learn to start eating better right now. And what I knew about eating better then, I know a lot more about eating better now than I did 17 years ago. I've learned a lot since. It's been a journey and a process of getting better and better and better, smarter and smarter and smarter, learning more and more and more. But that's okay because one of the things I'm going to emphasize to you, to people listening several times here, the important thing is to get started and keep going. That's it.
Definitely.
You don't have to be perfect. Get started, keep going.
Mhm.
You mess up, get going again. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So anyway, so I said, I'm learning to start eating better now. And for me, what that translated into three things. First thing I did was I decided to quit drinking alcohol. I was drinking scotch every day. And was I an alcoholic? I don't know. Was the alcohol serving me or was I serving it? I was serving it. No doubt about it. And I was definitely drinking too much. And I didn't need it. So I said, no more. I believe in symbolism. So I took my last bottle of scotch, I poured it down the toilet, and I hit flush. I've not had a drink since then. It's been 17 years. Okay. And I don't miss it. Soda pop, 2-liter bottles. I was drinking 3 of those a day, but they were diet caffeine free. So surely, based upon what the soda companies tell you, that's got to be more healthy than the regular one. No, it was not. They're not good. They're not healthy. So once again, I took my last bottle, poured it down the toilet, hit flush, gone. Haven't had one in 17 years. Don't miss it. And believe it or not, I actually found the soda pop harder to stop drinking than I did the alcohol.
You're up.
It's kind of funny.
Mm.
Right away, I quit drinking the alcohol. I didn't miss it. See, let's talk about addiction for a minute. Was I addicted to the alcohol? Maybe. Was I addicted to the soda pop? Maybe, probably. But there's two different kinds of addiction here: emotional addiction and physical addiction. If you're addicted to heroin and you quit taking heroin, you're going to feel it physically. Your body's going to go through nasty physical changes and it's going to be hard.
Mm.
When I quit drinking the alcohol and I quit drinking the soda pop, there were no physical consequences to doing that. I was not physically addicted to those things. I was emotionally addicted to them. I wanted them emotionally. They were my friends,
Mm.
So I believe people may disagree with me here, but I know in my experience, because if it's not physical, I think it's probably easier on you to quit than if it's something physical. I mean, I can only imagine, I know what I went through, and I can only imagine what someone who was a heroin addict or something would go through to get off that.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to have that experience, and I feel for them. So I said that. And then the other thing was, I said, I'm going to make a dietary change. I'm going to quit eating red meat. I'm going to quit eating beef and pork. And for me, that was an accomplishment because my father was a butcher and I grew up in a home with unlimited free meat. And for me to stop eating beef and pork, that was an accomplishment.
Mm.
but I did. But here's the funny part. Remember how I told you how I, learned to quit eating those dinners in the middle of the night because I would look at the picture? What I learned was, and I now know when I counsel people, I tell people, you can taste food without putting it in your mouth.
Hmm.
I mean, I can tell you right now, I can talk about, I used to make great pork ribs. And you can say the words pork ribs,
You
and
can
I
taste
can,
them.
and I can instantly taste what they were,
Mm.
instantly.
Mm.
But I didn't put them in my mouth. They didn't go into my digestive system, and they didn't hurt me. Yet I got the experience of the pork ribs. And, and like I like to tell people, people go, oh, well, you gave that up. Look, I've already had my lifetime share of pork ribs and yours and probably 20 other people's.
What is up? Thanks for being here at the end of the episode. Obviously, you've enjoyed it and it's helped you find your true form. And I bet you know somebody that's going to help find their true form as well. So I'd appreciate it if you could copy this show link, send it to one friend or family member and say, hey, have a listen to this. It's going to help you find your true form. They'll probably have no idea what you're talking about, but it will help them. And I'd appreciate if you could do that. Also, all podcast platforms these days have some sort of algorithm. So the more you interact with this episode, the better it's going to perform and help reach more people and help them find their true form as well. So 5-star review, positive comment, like, share, comment, however you can interact with the episode. I'd appreciate that. And everybody listening that hasn't heard of the True Form podcast is going to appreciate it as well.